So with every day passing by, we get closer and closer to WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, where we're going to get plenty of new WWE action figure reveals. But we have some new news here, and some of this is from Mitchell Craig on Twitter, and I do want to give a huge shout out to him. But some of this is just some news that has kind of accumulated over the last few days or so, and we haven't really done any news here. So I wanted to update you guys because we had one big thing here that he dropped on us late last night, legitimately like 5 minutes ago. So I wanted to get on here and talk about this, man. WWE Elite Series 127. Now, this is a wave that has changed many times over. We have seen the kind of, we have seen the evolution of this wave change mightily over the last few weeks. And Elite Series 127, this has been a different wave that we've talked about. We talked about Elite 128, and these are some things we're going to know about. I don't know. I would imagine these will probably be on display at WrestleMania 42 at WWE World, right? That just is the way that it is. We don't even have an official gallery of Elite Series 126 yet. That should be coming any day now. I imagine we'll get a new gallery maybe this Friday, next Friday. We're going to get a new gallery of Elite Series 126 very soon, hopefully before we go out to Vegas for WrestleMania. But Elite Series 127, I think this is huge because we finally figured out the last figure in the set, and it has me all over the place because I got a lot of thoughts about it, and we got to get into it. Elite 127, putting it on your screen so you guys can see. Sami Zayn, we already knew about. Alexa Bliss, we already knew about. JC Mateo, we already knew about. Bronson Reed, same deal. Nathan Frazier. But the last figure was to be determined. Now it is official, apparently. It has been released out here from Mitchell Craig that it is John Cena. Now, that just makes me think a whole lot of stuff, man. And I don't know, man, I'm going to give you all of my thoughts. So as we know, these sets that are releasing right now are probably based on a year ago, what was a year ago, and we've kind of already touched on this a little bit when we talked about what could be the WrestleMania Superstore exclusive for this year. As we know, last year it was John Cena. They threw in that little Vegas shirt in there and everything like that. I have no word on if we're going to get another Superstore exclusive. I would imagine there's probably going to be another one. I don't know who it's going to be. That is what our video the other day was talking about. If you guys want to go check that out, I kind of pitched that it could be John Cena. But now seeing John Cena as a part of Elite Series 127, man, I think that is completely scrapped. I don't think we're going to see John Cena as the Superstore exclusive. I think they're going to go completely off the grid there and pick somebody else. Could be Punk, could be Rollins, could be a flashback talent. I even pitched that it could be Hulk Hogan from Mania 9, given the Vegas history and Hulk Hogan's passing and everything. So I could see that being a case where they re-release that Hall of Fame Elite. If you want some more details on that, you can let me know and go check out that video from last week. But John Cena in Elite Series 127, my God, man, this has me up in arms a few different ways because I'm believing that this Elite 127 John Cena, now I could be wrong, this could be any of the John Cena attires. There's been a shish ton of attires they could pick from for John Cena. I am under the impression, and I'm just making a guess, this is probably going to be WrestleMania 41 John Cena in Elite form. And I say that because, you know, we've already seen a couple basics of this. The basics have not been correct. They've been pretty bad, to be honest with you. And we do know the recent history with the John Cena figures has not been great. So that has me worried about this. Now, I mean, I guess if it was an Ultimate Edition, I would still obviously be probably pretty upset because you know it's going to have that giant torso on it, and it's going to look just like the Last Time Is Now Cena that we're going to get in December. That is going to look no different than the heel turn, just different deco, which is pretty disappointing, not going to lie. That giant torso that we've talked about with the heel turn Cena. Again, go check out the full review if you want the full rundown, but John Cena, a part of Elite 127, makes me think this is WrestleMania 41 John Cena. Now, I guess that's okay, but as we know, his Elite figures, especially modern-day Elite figures, have had a lot of issues. You go back to the Top Picks Glasgow Cena, the myriad of issues that figure had. While also pretty good figure, it also had so many things wrong with it. You go to the Ultimate Edition heel Cena, a lot of things wrong with it. There has been a lot of John Cenas recently that have not been the greatest, and so getting this figure here, I mean, I guess, would it make sense as this grand big moment for John Cena's career? 17-time champion, you know, a huge deal. You know, I mean, it was what WrestleMania was all about last year. Just to give him a simple mainline Elite, I guess it's okay. It's just, you know, are the accessories going to be there? The hat's probably not going to fit. What if they accidentally gave him the damn cargo shorts like the Glasgow Cena? They probably used the Glasgow Cena as the you know, the prerequisite. They probably used that model, and then they're just going to repaint it and give him the right shirt and everything like that, and the bands and everything. I don't know, man. I don't trust this figure. If this is going to be John Cena from WrestleMania 41, it may or may not include the towel. It may or may not include the championship. That's why I thought it would be some sort of exclusive. And maybe it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe this isn't WrestleMania 41 John Cena. But I feel like with that moment, I don't know. I guess like mainline makes sense because everybody can get their hands on it. Similar to the heel turn Ultimate Cena, everybody will have an opportunity to get that figure. It just has me worried in my head because we haven't seen it yet. Again, this is all speculation. Speculation, Your Honor. It's all speculation. I could be completely wrong. I'm just giving you all of my thoughts. Again, I get on here and I yap and I tell you guys exactly what I'm thinking because these are things that I'm worried about or thinking about leading up to this Elite 127 Cena. Now, hopefully we'll see this figure on display at WrestleMania, and oh my God in heaven, man, if I go into WWE World, I buy the ticket, I walk up to the booth, and this figure looks absolutely god-awful, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, son. I don't know what to think about that, but John Cena being the last figure in Elite 127, I just think that, I don't know, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if it was Ultimate, it would be hideous, like the heel turn John Cena Ultimate probably, torso and accessories, and I don't know, I mean, maybe it wouldn't have all those issues, I mean, towel graphic and unpainted watch and just all these different things, the calves being on the wrong leg, but if it's in Elite form, I don't know, maybe it's salvageable, I don't know, we're just gonna have to wait this by ear, man, we're gonna have to play it by ear. Hopefully, if this is WrestleMania 41 John Cena, which I think it is, hopefully it will deliver, but that's pretty crazy that John Cena is Elite 127. I thought the last figure in Elite 127, I think it was rumored to be LA Knight initially. Then it was to be determined. I thought it would be possibly Seth Rollins because we saw a listing on Walmart.com of Seth Rollins. And now it's apparently going to be John Cena. So I don't know. I don't know nothing. I'm just thinking out loud here, man. But John Cena, apparently the last figure in Elite 127. Wanted to get on here and talk about that a little bit. But we have more news here. Elite Series Defining Moments. The new Defining Moments set with Rey Fenix and Ricky Saints apparently going to be delayed for a month, which is pretty devastating. No, it's not that devastating. I'm just kidding. But, I mean, it does stink. You know, we want these figures in hand. We're excited to get the first Elite of Rey Fenix, the first Elite of Ricky Saints. I did find his basic. His basic is hitting different stores. I found it at Walmart. I found it at Target. If you're looking for Ricky Saints, he is popping up a lot of different places. So if you guys want Ricky Saints right now, you can find him right now. But the Defining Moments Elite seems to be a little bit delayed. Hopefully we will get a solve on that, and maybe I guarantee we'll see those figures on display at WrestleMania, probably along with New Jack and some other figures as well, and we'll get to see the rest of those Defining Moments figures, and hopefully they're good and it'll all look good and it'll be nice. But another thing I wanted to talk about is some more stuff that's hitting is, of course, the WrestleMania shipper. If you guys missed our toy hunt the other day, we found over 200 plus new figures at my Walmart, and that toy hunt was absolutely insane. But Greatest Hits Monday Night Wars figures are also hitting. I think it's Monday Night Wars Greatest Hits Series 3 with a Charles Robinson Build-A-Figure. That set is hitting retail. I need to go on another toy hunt to see if we can find those figures, because the Eddie Guerrero, you got the Road Dogg, the Billy Gunn, that set right there, that is hitting a lot of Walmart so you can build your Charles Robinson. Now, I haven't seen them personally, but I am going to be on the hunt soon because they are popping up everywhere. I imagine that set's going to be pretty easy to find, at least if you get Greatest Hits. I mean, the Greatest Hits Elites, I feel like have been pretty plentiful. I didn't see Series 1 at all, but I found Series 2 a shish ton, so maybe that has worked itself out. I'm not entirely sure. The Monday Night War set used to be insanely hard to find, and then the last few sets, I will say, have been a lot easier to find, but I don't know. Greatest Hits Monday Night War Series 3 is hitting, so if you guys want those figures, you definitely need to go be out there on the look. But another thing we found out is Elite Series Greatest Hits 11. This is the set here. I'll pop it up on screen. Somebody did ask Steve on the forums about a month or two ago, and they asked him about Greatest Hits 11, and he did say that they're all re-releases, so no new gears here. You know, I feel like every once in a while the Greatest Hits will be something special, but it seems like we've done videos on this and topic essays really at this point, but it seems that, you know, the Greatest Hits is not what we once thought it was. I think it's kind of devolved into a top picks line and getting a lot of re-releases out there. And so if you guys are wanting these specific figures, it looks like they're just going to be straight up re-releases of the exact same figure, which is good because you save some money if you didn't want, you know, a different gear, whatever. But if you guys missed out on those figures, they're going to be available. But I would much prefer them to reach back into the, you know, not necessarily the vault. I love the From the Vault line too, but I would like to see them reach back in and get some older figures re-released with double jointed arms, updated tech and stuff. And I think that they can really have some fun there with some different figures. But Greatest Hits 11 is going to be all re-releases. And then this thing is pretty cool. There has been an update on Walmart.com. Apparently there's a listing for the fourth and final WCW Ultimate Edition. and there is a listing here. And as we know, so if you guys didn't know, they kind of alternate. So you get a WCW, you get a WWE or WWF, and it kind of alternates, right? So we did see Stone Cold, and then we saw Scott Steiner, and then we saw Kurt Angle, and then we saw DDP, and then the next one's supposed to be Cactus Jack, and then I think this one will be a WCW version, and I think the WCW version, a lot of rumors speculating out there seems to be that they think it's going to be a Booker T. Now, that would be a pretty cool figure. I would love to see Booker T in this in Ultimate Edition form. I think that would be a great figure, and I would like that, man, because the Booker T figures, they put out a lot, it seems, especially in the last couple years, as we know, but I think that this would make for a pretty sweet Ultimate Edition, and his figures are pretty damn good, so I don't know. I think this would be pretty sweet. We've gotten a lot of Booker Ts over the years, but I'd be all aboard this, so I'm all aboard a Booker T figure, unless we can get Sting in there. If they could shock drop Sting on us, I don't even know what to do with myself. Can you imagine? I think the internet would shatter if they dropped a Sting on us out of nowhere or something like that. If they revealed that at Mania, that Sting was back, I think that would be a huge deal. But anyways, man, I think that is all of the news that we had today. I think the biggest news for me is that Elite Series 127 has John Cena in it. We already know about Elite 126. We already know about Elite 127 now. Apparently, the full wave is out there with Cena. And then we do have Elite 128 coming down the line. I imagine, again, Elite 126, 27, 28, and probably some prototypes of Elite 129 will be on display in Vegas here in a couple weeks, man. It's coming up fast. It's coming up fast, and I look forward to it, man. But I'd love to know your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below. What do you think of this news? If you missed our videos from the last few days, man, go check those out. But before we get out of here, let's give a shout out to our Patreon members because we had a new sign up just the other day. Nate Amaya, huge shout out to you, brother. I appreciate your patronage and for signing up over there, man. You guys are greatly appreciated, and I appreciate all of you so very much. But that's going to wrap it up, man. Lots of videos posting daily. I appreciate you. I'm getting out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.